This is the Big O Show. 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 This is...
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Slowman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Slowman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Slowman Shield.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After
40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodydental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Welcome to Kaneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Kaneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at Kaneswear.com. Kaneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Ray Law. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Ray Law can help.
When it comes to selling your home, efficiency is the best way, the less stress way. That's why Asmani Garcia and the Omega Home Realty Group is who you want to call. Sell your home for just $990. That's right, $990. No 6% commission. Asmani and Omega are the exclusive program director for just $990 in South Florida. Get full service real estate services like pro photos, beautiful brochures, Zillow and Alex, Realtor.com and Homes.com listings. Call Asmani to find out more at 305-440-1990. Scan the QR code or visit just990.com to get started. Omega Home Realty Group and Asmani Garcia are ready to present your home to thousands of prospective buyers. Call 305-440-1990. Call Asmani Garcia and tell him Big O sent you.
Where can you drive a new Acura ZDX for only $439 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649. 2649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Or good evening, good afternoon, depending on when you're listening or watching the show. So we appreciate it whenever you do. If you're live or you're later on hanging out or listening in segments, however it is you listen, thank you. However it is you support, we appreciate. Of course, the great Sean Stanley is, of course, driving the program and mastering the platform. As always, and good night last night as the Heat made it 5 in a row, did what they were supposed to do against the Wizards. That was good. We'll talk about that. We got a little Panthers action tonight. There's U.S. Open Cup action tonight. We got some stuff going on in sports. A couple things, not like earth-shattering stuff. Inter Miami will be back in action tomorrow against LAFC in a really late game. Fort Lauderdale United will be in action on Saturday in Tampa. Sunday, Inter in Toronto. It's good stuff. Wow, you know what? Saturday would be good for me and the wife to like drive up to see the game, but go to Burns Steakhouse before. See, that would be like a perfect Saturday. Burns Steakhouse, go watch the game, and then drive home. That would be good. I don't know if I would do something that crazy, but it would be fun to do something like that. But anyway, Sunday, 7 p.m., the Inter Miami squad is back in action, MLS style at Chase Stadium to take on Toronto. So that's what's going on with all the local teams because we got no more basketball. Nova has finished it off, winning the national championship, and obviously UM and FAU, their seasons are done already. So we are left with basketball on the NBA side. We are left with the Panthers, and then we are left with our football clubs until football rolls around. It looks like, by the way, I don't know. I mean, we told you about it for months now. But, I think it was like official yesterday, right? Well, we've been telling you for months because Mike McDaniel comes out and says, we're moving forward with Tyreek. Tyreek comes out and puts out a tweet that, there's nothing to it. We're moving forward also. And so I see media writing, there'll be no Tyreek deal. Right? So they're all finally coming around to what we've been saying for months here, that they're stuck with each other. One guy wanted his money. He wasn't about winning. Well, he got his money now. He can't complain. And the other team locked in the money, so they screwed themselves. I mean, the math is simple. So I guess you all are moving past it now. Officially, no more stupid questions. No more stupid requests like the Tua one. Oh, yeah, let's trade Tua. Well, that's not going to happen either. That's it. Okay, so we're good now. Are we good? You guys realized, and all of you that wanted to pay Tyreek, you screwed yourselves, and the team screwed up. So ownership, front office, coaching, everybody screwed up committing to Tyreek. They should have kept him like they had him on a lurch all last year. Keep him on an edge. Instead, You don't give brats what they don't deserve. And that's what you gave Tyreek. You gave a brat what he didn't deserve, and now the brat's the brat, so you can't do anything about it. But the good thing is that Tyreek has kind of like, squashed it on his own now, right? No truth to it. And then the coach has told you, you can't go with absolutes, but we're moving forward with him because, of course, if he goes and commits like a crime or something, then maybe you could get out of it or something, But outside of him becoming a legit like criminal and going out and killing somebody or raping somebody or whatever, the guy's on your team. You're stuck with him. So it looks like the media that has no insight or just wants to troll has kind of figured out that they figured out the real answer, or they figured out they can't troll anymore. The player is kind of like putting it down already, like, okay, I got to stop already because I'm really not going anywhere. I got nobody really wants me anyways. And if they're going to give anything for me, they're going to give dog shit. So the team can't really move me, and they can't take the huge cap hit. And the team, on the other hand, the front office and the coach are trying to save their asses. They can't trade him and create a big dead cap space and make it even harder for them to win. They're spending very little money this offseason. Can you imagine with more tightness? So now that everybody's figured out the fucking reality of all of this, we can all move on. But you know what would have been a lot easier? If you just listened to the goddamn show a couple of months ago. That's all. If you listen to the show, you save yourself from all the heartache of tweeting out that they should trade him and this and that, and reading articles about trading him and watching shows and all that. I know it's boring for me to just cut you off and say it's not going to happen, and why even talk about it? But this is the reason why I say it's not going to happen and why we're going to talk about it. Because in the end, it ends up like a log in the fire. With the same log of, here's the log where they were trying to find a replacement for Tua. Remember Josina Anderson? Here's the log in the fire. Oh, Jonathan Taylor, here's the log in the fire. Oh, they're re-signing Wilkins. Here's the log in the fire. So let's just keep doing the log in the fire. The log in the fire. Okay, so now we've all moved on. Now we're all good, right? Okay. So congratulations to those of you that have finally moved on and you figured out what a lot of us here on the show figured out a while ago. They're screwed. And so are you, by the way, as a Dolphins fan, because you're stuck with Tyreek. Okay? I'm stuck with Tyreek. You're stuck with Tyreek. I'm stuck with Mike McDaniel. You're stuck with Mike McDaniel. Good morning. Joseph is number one. Heat 5 in a row. That was awesome. I was awesome. And I tell you why it's awesome and why I love what I'm watching from the Miami Heat. They're playing basketball the Miami Heat way. There's hustle. There's defense. Okay? They're playing together. Last night, they didn't shoot well from three-point range. They adjusted and they attacked. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. And by the way, let's give some kudos to Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. They're the highest paid dogs on this team, and they are leading the way now, night in and night out. And last night, 28 and 27. Very good. I like that. Now, I got to tell you, the thing that I probably love the most that I've watched the last couple of nights is Pelé Larson, baby. Okay, because as you all know, I've been a huge supporter of Larson. I just see dog in the dude. I like what I see from that kid. And the other night, he filled up the stat sheet and was all over the place, dominating. And it was beautiful to watch. 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Last night, Pele Larson had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. And I'm just, you're just watching players. And it was, it was even nice to see Rozier get in the mix. But everybody's filling roles. Ware's playing defense and scoring and helping out. Everybody is contributing. And there's a lot of balance. And this is a lot of fun because now you've won 5 in a row and you've built up a crescendo to Boston. So tomorrow night, what I think we all want to see is either a win, which would be great, or a really respectable game. That's what you want, because they're not better than Boston. So they're not really supposed to beat Boston, especially on the road, right? It's on the road, right? Yeah, it's on the road. So they're not supposed to beat Boston. You and I know that Boston's a better team. But if you can go and be a pain in the ass and play a respectable game, I can live with that, dude. And then the next games that come up that are games that you can win, take care of those games. Set yourself up. And then, like I said, like I told Ira, the goal now for the Miami Heat and this young team is to finish the season strong, win most of your games. You're going to lose a game or two because you're going to play a couple of really good teams. If you happen to win them, freaking fantastic. If you lose respectfully, I think we can all deal with it, considering all the shit we've dealt with all year long and all the drama and all the bullshit. It's all gone now. Right now, the air is clear and you're now playing Heat basketball. There's no looming cloud of Butler suspended, not suspended, playing, not playing, half-ass playing, whatever. You don't have to answer the questions. You don't have to, nothing. It's you guys now. You get to make your own mark. So the way you make it your own mark in this season here, you've been dealt a shitty hand. Okay, now it's all gone. Now whoever's going to lead now has to kind of grow from within, right? Okay, we're watching Bam and Tyler lead. We're watching others, like Jaquez last night. We're watching others take their opportunities to shine, which is great, right? Like Pele Larson, which is, all of this is fantastic. So you're building all of this up. So you want to win most of your games, finish strong, whether you end 10, 9, or you sneak up to, I don't even know if mathematically, I got to look it up now, if you can sneak up to 8. I don't even know if you can, but it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you win most of your games and you get out of the play-in. And you play the Caps. And be a pain in the ass to the Caps. Try to steal a game. If you steal 2, oh my God, then that's like a phenomenal end to the season. But if you can be a pain in the ass, lose 4-1, 4-2, but lose tough, I think Heat fans would feel a little bit better about the season and about the base, and then you can start to try to build, because now you've overcome all the drama and all the bullshit, and you've kind of found your way. Again, it hasn't happened yet. They've got to finish the season. I'm looking at it right now. They are, well, actually, no, man, dude, they're a game and a half out of the 8th spot. They've got the 9th spot right now. They're ahead of Chicago. So they've got a game and a half away from Orlando. They can do it. They can do it, actually. Yes, sir. What were you going to say?
I'd say they're a game and a half behind Orlando, and I think 2, if the math is right, to Atlanta. But I think Atlanta has a tiebreaker
Yeah.
Also over the Heat. So, but there is a chance that
Yeah.
they could end up sneaking up into the 8, possibly, depending on what Atlanta's got.
Yeah. Yeah. So to me, that's the season. That's all I can ask for as a Heat fan. And then you kind of like straighten the ship out. You've righted the ship, as they say, and you end the season respectfully. And then you can start to try to move on. But I love what I'm seeing from the Heat. And I know they played a shitty team yesterday, but dude, they've lost to shitty teams quite a few times this year. It's why they're in the hole they're in. So now they're beating all the shitty teams. They're handling them, and they had a good win already in this stretch too. The Golden State win for them was a good win. So now you get to play the Boston Celtics. Then you come home to play Memphis. It's a hell of a 2-game stretch. It's going to be a nice measurement to see where the kids are at. And now that they up the competition, I love it, man. I love it. I'm looking forward to this little 2-game stretch here, and now they've got confidence. Everybody's got a role that they're filling right now. Spo has a better feel for the team. They're clearly in a better place right now. This is a perfect time to have a little better competition, from this stretch and see where you stand. Now, if you go and flop in these next 2 games and play like shit, yeah, it's going to make us feel pretty bad. But if you go out there and you play respectable and hell, you steal one of these 2, we're going to feel pretty good about this Heat stretch going 6-1. So I'm looking forward to this, and I really like what I'm seeing from the Heat. Right now I'm watching Heat basketball. That's all. I'm watching Heat basketball. Is it at the highest level that I've ever seen it? No. But is it at a respectable pace there? Yes, definitely. The way you're playing defense, the way you're playing offense right now, the hustle that's out there, I love it. I love it. That's Heat basketball. Pele Larson is what Heat basketball is all about. He's exactly the definition of Heat basketball. Guys like that, that's what you want. The guys that are playing selfless basketball all the freaking time. The little guard does that. Bam does that. This is what's going on the team all over the place. And this is why you have the results you're having right now that you have not had all year. This has been the best stretch of basketball for them this year. It's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. And I cannot wait for these next 2 games. Wednesday and Thursday is going to be a lot of fun to see where these young cats are at. And I'm excited to see if they can steal one of the 2. If they can do that, that would be absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's see. What else do we have? Thank you, Jeff in Long Island. Gus 1388. One-Eyed Jack. NorCal is in. He says, I'm not smoking bud anymore. Or any less. Happy April Fool's Day. So there you go. And today's the day where everybody posts fake April Fool's stories and all that good stuff. Cosa Nostra, Vamos Gatos, Skylar Tipton, Horn Dog, Ty in the Bronx, Alexis Palenzuela, Ragin, Danny Musselwhite. What's the name of the steak at Bernstein? Well, mine, the Chateaubriand. I always have the Chateaubriand. That's the best steak on the cow. Okay, best part of the fillet is the Chateaubriand. Not everybody sells that cut, but Burns is one of the steakhouses where you can get a Chateaubriand. That is my favorite. You know what? I'm going to tell the wife. I'm going to ask her. What do you think about a crazy ass thing Saturday? Haven't been to Burns in a long time. I don't even know if I can get a reservation, actually. Let's see what else. True Fin Fan says, I don't believe they're all finally coming around. To me, they knew they were full of shit themselves, but clickbait is king, so let's fool the fools. Me, I got the big O and Sean. Thank you, sir. Thank you, True Fin Fan. No, but I think some of them are actually figuring it out, that they're now figuring it out that Tyreek can't be traded. Like, they can't afford it. Like, they're finally figuring it out. What we've been telling you for a while now. It's like, you can't do it. And you know what it is? You know how screwed up? Think about the Dolphins right now, how effed up they must be in that front office and coaching staff. Okay? Because as we let you in on this, nobody else did. You still don't, those of you that listen to the show, they weren't paying him. Okay? Those were the facts. There was a disagreement in that building. I'm paying, not paying, and all that. And they went back and forth. And not paying won out for a long time. And then as we got closer to the training camp and season, it started to get, it somehow got weakened, the stance inside the building, because there was a rift in the building. And to this day, there are people walking around in that building telling other people, I told you so. That wasn't a uniform decision to guarantee the money to Tyreek last year. So now you've got the conundrum, the situation, the dynamic, the disturbing dynamic that the effed up decision you made last year forces you to make the effed up decision of that you have to deal with him, you have to tolerate him, and you have to try to overcome and make it work because you have no choice. If you were going to rebuild, if you were going to get a new coach and all that, you easily could have gotten rid of him for lesser pick. You just want to get rid of the fucking headache. But the interesting dynamic of all, the disturbing dynamic of all of this was that in that building, they were torn. And then something happened and it gave in. And they gave him the money, because notice it didn't happen till closer to the season. And I kept telling you, they're not paying him. They're not paying. And then all of a sudden, they caved in. I started to hear like, oh, well, we're worried about how he's going to act and all that kind of stuff. And I told a couple of people in the building, I said, you can't do that. You can't worry about how he's going to act. You need to use that as leverage. Look at what happened to the Heat and Butler. I told them that over a year ago. I said, about a year ago. Look what happened to Butler and the Heat. They ended up giving him that extension, and look, he doesn't play. He doesn't play in the regular season. Look where it ended up. So it's really an interesting, a disturbing dynamic. The disturbing dynamic of Tyreek Hill. They were at odds to pay him, and now they're all screwed because they have to keep him. So the people that didn't want to pay him are probably telling the people that paid him, why did you do that? Look at where we're at now. Was Reggie McKenzie one of the guys that said, don't guarantee him the money? We'll never know. Anyway. Hey, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Why don't we? The Heat last night. They defeated the Wizards 120-94. They've won 5 in a row. Bam with 28, Tyler with 27, Jaquez 14-7, 2 assists, 3 steals, and of course, the man of the man that we build a fan club for on this show, Pele Larson, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Thank you, Spo, for playing the young man more and more, because I am loving it. Tomorrow, they take on Boston on the road, 7:30 tip. Tonight, the Panthers, they are in action on the road and seeking revenge against the Canadians. 7 o'clock will be the face-off. They lost to the Canadians 4-2. They got outplayed pretty much in every period, and especially the third. They need a bounce back tonight. Let's go, 7 o'clock. Go Panthers. Tonight, U.S. Open Cup action in your backyard. It's in Fort Lauderdale at Chase Stadium. Inter Miami CF2. Okay? They will take on Miami FC. So the junior varsity club is taking on Miami FC in the U.S. Open. They already got through the first round. Let's see if they can get through Miami FC. My prediction, Miami FC wins this one. They're a little better, actually. So they should be. But the Inter Miami squad is very young, very athletic. I'll tell you that. They got some speed on those with those youngsters there. Wednesday night, the big club Inter Miami is back in action, CONCACAF Champions Cup, and they're visiting LA, and it'll be an 11:30 game time tomorrow night. You know what? Not for you, Sean. You're screwed because you got to wake up early every morning. But I thought about this. It's not so bad for me because we work on Thursday at 3 o'clock. I get to sleep in actually a little bit. So staying up late for the LAFC game in Inter Miami on Wednesday night, not so bad for yours truly, actually. So I win. Unfortunately, my man Sean, you do. Don't you wake up like at 5:30 or something every damn day?
I get the kids to school, but I believe this week I'm okay. Next week I go back to it. Yeah.
Good for you.
I might actually get to watch the game this week.
All right, good. Excellent. I'm happy for you on that. All right. And then, of course, the ladies are back in action, baby. Fort Lauderdale United this Saturday, 7 o'clock. They're in Tampa Bay to take on the Sun FC. Remember, you can watch it all on Peacock. So all the games are on Peacock. They're at Riverfront Stadium, 7 o'clock for the face-off for that one. And then the big club, Inter Miami, is back in action. So they've got CONCACAF action on Wednesday at 11:30. They come back 4 days later, Sunday at 7 here at Chase Stadium. They will host Toronto. All right. And in NBA news, the Pelicans have shut down Zion Williamson and CJ McCullough for the season. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. If you need custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443 for custom printing and embroidery, whatever it is, uniforms, hats, shirts, whatever you need, call him. You can do all that stuff by Zoom and email and all that. So that's how everybody else does it in the damn business. So reach out to Alan Blanco. That's his cell phone. And, of course, support the great sponsors that support our platform. 786-618-1443. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins football with the one and only David Furones in our Welton Ray Law Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Ray Law Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Ray Law has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins Insider David Furones.
All right. This is a segment that Tyreek Hill should be listening to because with as many kids as he has, he could be facing bankruptcy down the line. with as many problems as he's had, like fires in homeowner property damage, Welton Ray can help you out. Personal injury, Welton Ray can help you out. Criminal defense, Welton Ray can help you out. So business owner claims, who knows what might happen to that shop down the line. So there's a lot of things. So make sure you call Welton Ray because guys like even Tyreek may need him. 954-966-4646. So, Mr. Furones, it seems like the rest of the media world, fans, Mike McDaniel, Tyreek, have all come to the conclusion that we've been telling you for months. There will be no trade. No one can move him because they can't get anything for him anyways. Okay, because nobody's going to offer you shit. Look what happened with Deebo Samuel. They gave him away, basically, and he has zero baggage. Okay, you're going to have to give him away and then create a whole bunch of dead cap space. This team isn't spending this offseason. Can you imagine if it had more dead space? Like, it's finally, I think, I don't know, maybe you're still on this whole thing there, but I think people have realized they're stuck like Chuck. And maybe even Tyreek has realized that he's also stuck like Chuck.
Well, I don't know if people will ever realize it, because it seems like whenever ample evidence is put in front of people, you still end up having to shut things down. And
he sounds kind of muffled, right?
Does it sound better this way?
Yeah, a little better. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to hold my phone up instead of just pressing it down. Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have to hire like a fucking producer to walk around with this guy.
No, I'm gonna have it figured out when I'm back home, because back home then
we don't want you back home either, bro. Actually,
no. With my phone back home, I got it figured out, because I got this arm thing that I use for our Sun Sentinel Dolphins Deep Dive podcast. And then it'll hold the phone. Now I'm in a hotel room here in Palm Beach at the owners' meetings, and then I put my phone down. I didn't have it with me.
You're the only young guy that acts like a 75-year-old with technical shit, bro. Anyway, are they moving on finally? Are folks moving on from this Tyreek crap already? Jeez.
I don't think folks themselves will move on, because anytime you present them with the ample evidence that the Dolphins can't move him, you still end up having to shut it down again. And then finally, we did hear Mike McDaniel now on the record after. Well, I mean, we've even heard Tyreek Hill in other interviews say he's backed off that sentiment. Hey, even Chris Greer had already said just 2 days after the whole locker room outburst at the Meadowlands that Tyreek never came to him with a trade request. And Drew Rosenhaus had made his comments publicly and everything, but still, it's still on people's minds. And then Tyreek Hill, of course, his timing is impeccable. Right before owners' meetings or the Sunday evening before Mike McDaniel is going to speak for the first time in a month, then he's trolling again with putting up the peace out emojis and all this to all these rumors about him being traded. So these rumors just keep popping up on social media from non-reputable accounts, and then Tyreek Hill entertains it, so then it keeps popping up. But good to hear Mike McDaniel say what you and I have said for a while, and what we've known is that's not happening right now. So just put it away, people.
And understand what he just said. A lot of sites that aren't even part of the media, they have no respect in the media, and they're not really connected. And then you also have to add Tyreek, who also has no respect, who also has no credibility. So you can't believe anything he says either. So you got to understand both of those things. You got people reporting or throwing it out there that have no insight whatsoever, which is terrible. And then you've got a guy that isn't very smart and can't figure it out himself. And by the way, there's a part B to all of this, because I'm sure you get it like I do. Oh, let's trade Tua. No, asshole. You can't trade Tua. You're stuck with him through next season. Okay, just so you'll know, even if they wanted to get rid of him, it won't be till after next season is when that window will actually open, if they want to, if he doesn't play well, if he breaks down, yada, 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 yada. But I'm sure you're getting it too. Oh, no, we should trade Tyreek and Tua. No, dude, they can't trade either. They're effing stuck with these guys. They made the financial commitment, and now the financial hit would be catastrophic. So they can't do shit with one guy for 1 year and the other guy for 2 years. I mean, how many times do we have to explain this too?
Right. The financial commitment is there on both of them. Like you said, Tyreek Hill next year, Tua Tagovailoa at least the next 2 years. Pretty much the next 2 years. You're committed. You can maybe do something afterwards. With Tua. But just as far as Tua goes, the worst case scenario for him, because, all right, let's say he does have a great season. Yeah, then everyone's going to be back. That means the Dolphins had maybe a playoff run, and Chris Greer's back, Mike McDaniel's back. Tua, you already are committed to him. But in the event where, all right, if Tua has a bad season, that probably means Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer are gone, and it's a franchise reset. And then you still have Tua on the books for the following season, but then it'll be on a new probably GM and coach combination to then
it'll be a Russell Wilson, Sean Payton thing. That it's a bridge thing for a year that they've got to tolerate and then move on.
Right. You have to just keep Tua on the books, but then you're probably making your move for if you find a quarterback in that following draft for that new regime, then they would bring him in, but Tua is still there for a year, and then you're in this transitional phase. But that's all it would be. That would be in the worst case scenario of Tua has a bad season next year, and then that's where the franchise has to then move on entirely and hit the reset button. But Tua would still be on the roster then for 2026 in that transition. But also, it wouldn't make sense beyond the financial commitment. It's for Greer and McDaniel in a must-win season. You're going to ride with the guy that you've been developing and grooming for all these years. You have to. You're not just going to turn the page and put everything in on, a rookie in the draft after you trade, or Zach Wilson, who you've already acquired, as you trade for draft picks, because that would make no sense for a combination that is on the hot seat and has to win this season.
I'm with you there. By the way, I got a challenge for you / homework. Okay. Once in a while, I pose a question that maybe you can pose to them while you're at it. The next time you have Tua in the media room, okay, you ask him like this: Tua, you've had to deal with a lot of injuries throughout your career, okay? And throughout your career, you've gotten injured while sometimes taking some chances, extending plays. The one season that you chose to play the game by getting rid of the football and taking care of your body, you played injury-free 2 years ago. Why not play like that all the time so you're available to your franchise every single week, assuring them of a better chance of getting to the postseason?
Yeah, and I think it's been phrased that way probably internally within the building to him, and that's why Mike.
I know. They've got that, bro. Let me tell you, in the building. Let me tell you this. This is a fact in the building. Okay, a fact already. Not only have they talked to him, but they now know they can't trust him anymore. Okay, they know they can't trust him anymore. That's like a fact in the building. They have no trust in him to take care of his body. They're at that point in the building. So they're scared shitless because think about it. People are walking in that building. They need to count on Mike McDaniel to be a competent coach, and they need to count on Tua to not be stupid with his body. Their entire lives are all depending on it. Scouts, assistant coaches, head coach, front office, everybody, dude, because people will be losing their jobs all over the place at the end of the season if those two guys fail at doing what they're supposed to do. So I know they've asked it behind the scenes. I know they've had the discussion with him, and I know they're already at the point where they don't trust him anymore. They're at the point where they know they're talking to a wall. But nobody in the media has phrased that to him just like that. And that's why I ask you that, hey, man, go out there and phrase it to him. You've had it's injuries all the way to high school. But if you just want to go back to Alabama and the hip and the ankles and all that shit, every time he tries to be Mr. Extend plays and all that bullshit, he ends up in trouble. 2 years ago, he doesn't do any of that bullshit, and he plays the entire season, dude. You know, it's pretty elementary. Why not play that way? That's it.
And the shot that he has to finally get it might be exactly what you're talking about, is that people in the building are losing faith and losing trust in that he can be that guy to just make the common sense decision for himself to protect himself out there. Now, at least Mike McDaniel, yesterday speaking on the record, did voice that he does believe Tua can turn that corner because of what he's feeling in that building and how he missed that time, and that really affects someone who the game means so much to him, which is, you know, really the one hope that you have is the combination of what you're saying, the pressure he's probably feeling in that building, he's got to be feeling in that building, and then also he himself missing that time, because for someone who loves to play football and really wants to do the best for the team, and it's not showing based on his actions when he puts himself at risk, and he has said as much too, but that's the one chance. That's the one chance.
Would you like to play the cut from his dad a couple of months ago on ESPN Honolulu? Would you like to play that cut? Because he talked about his conversation with his son, and his son said he's going to die on the field. And his son said that this is the way he has to play the game. And then his father said, this is the way he's always been. And so it's not like his dad enlightened us that this offseason there was any different conversations with Tua about that. And that's the scary. See, it's like watching Tyreek tell you, oh, yeah, no, I'm going to be a more mature player, a leader, all that. And then you have all this stupid shit that he continues to do and just creating problems for everybody. And then you guys are at the owners' meetings having to ask the same stupid questions to Mike McDaniel about the same idiot saying one thing and doing the other. And that's exactly what Tua does in his own way. He says one thing and he completely does the other. And then behind the scenes, he tells other people like his dad completely the other thing about not taking care of himself. It's baffling to me, dude. It's baffling.
And this is where it comes down on Mike McDaniel to get across to those two individuals who, from a player standpoint on this roster, those are pretty much who everyone's fates are on the most. Is the quarterback Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill just being his productive player self and then avoiding all the off the field drama that he can. And then kind of, I guess you're at his mercy with the social media antics, because Mike McDaniel even yesterday was kind of like, well, Tyreek is known to do what he does on social media. So it's kind of like an uncontrollable, it appears for him and the coaching staff, but something that it would be beneficial to get your hands around so that you can get the most out of both those guys who have the most impact on what this Dolphins 2025 season will be.
I believe it was your partner in crime, Chris Perkins, that asked McDaniel yesterday that how he would react if Tyreek was voted captain. And I thought it was an incredibly pathetic answer on behalf of Mike McDaniel that, oh, well, you know, maybe his teammates have seen that he's changed and this and that. And brother, change comes with a couple of years of acting like a real leader, not like a week that you did it or a month or 2 months or a training camp. That doesn't make you a leader, bro. It makes you a leader after you've done it for a couple of years. Since you've been a horse's ass for many years, okay, well, maybe you need to act like Teron Armstead does his entire career, or, you know, like many other players act, whether it's what's called Austin Jackson, who acts like a professional every day of his life. That's something that Tyreek Hill doesn't do. So he should never be voted a captain. In fact, if I was, and I get it that Mike McDaniel can't go completely old school style, but I would have gone in la indirecta, as we say in Spanish, the indirect, and I would have gone, well, what Tyreek needs to do is focus on being the best Tyreek Hill, because when he's the best, we're the best. So we want him to go out there and have a great season, and that's what we need to focus on. Derail it a little bit, and yeah, it's kind of a shot that being a captain is not important right now for the team. What's important is for Tyreek to be the best Tyreek Hill on the field for us, and that's where I would have gone instead of, why would I want Tyreek Hill to be a captain? That would make no sense, and that would be a terrible look for this team if they make captain. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would not like any scenario where Tyreek Hill is a captain of this team. I mean, he's been proven time and time again that he cannot be trusted with any type of leadership qualities. And, you just hope you get the best productive self he can be on the field. But as far as a leader, that's not who I want as a captain. And let me tell you, because you mentioned Teron Armstead and then in the same vein, Calais Campbell. If these guys aren't back for the Dolphins, which we're already kind of feeling Calais Campbell's not, and Teron Armstead team already operating like he's not going to be back. And then even if he is, a lot of people want Patrick Paul to be the starter and get developing at left tackle. Yeah. The team would take a huge hit in leadership if those two guys are gone. I mean, those are two of the guys keeping the locker room as together as can be in a locker room where you already have Tyreek Hill going off as the season comes to an end in a disappointing fashion. And it would take a huge hit for the tardiness.
Have a weak coach. When you have a weak coach, that's what you talk about right there. Because when you have a strong coach, you have great culture, great leader, and then other leaders develop when others leave because there's a culture in place. And you're watching it right now with the Miami Heat. After all the bullshit and everything has finally been washed out, now Eric Spoelstra gets to settle his guys, and he doesn't have like this proven star veteran on the team, apparently, because Bam is not really considered that yet, and neither is Tyler. So he's got to go. And meanwhile, everybody else is kind of stepping up from Pelé Larson to whatever in this stretch. So to me, it's all about the coaching. That's why you have no spine, because you have that guy as your coach. He keeps playing Julian Hill every week. Every time he screws up, he rewards him by playing next week. There's no discipline, and there is actually what's that called? No what's the word I'm looking for? No punishment for your actions. You know what I'm saying? So that's not good.
Yeah. Mike McDaniel has talked about finding guys and that he's had to continue to find some repeat offenders for the tardiness issues and probably other things going on behind closed doors. But it will be on him to find something else. He's got to turn the corner. I think he realizes that, and he's got to turn the corner in that standpoint. And at the same time, these are professional athletes too. They should be self-motivated. They shouldn't have to have a head coach, as they are grown men and adults getting paid to play a game to fulfill their basic job requirements. They should be self-motivated to do that and do it on their own as adults. But at the end of the day, that's why you have a head coach, among a lot of other things, of course. But that's one of the reasons why you have a head coach to ring it all together, because there will be instances when you have so many personalities in a sports setting that you need that head man to be a strong figure and unite the locker room when things are going that way.
Right now, out of the receivers, I wouldn't make any of them captains. I would make Jonnu Smith, the tight end. That would be my captain. Out of the receivers / tight ends, I would name Jonnu Smith would be the only guy that I would put as a captain, because as much as I like Waddle, He's not captain material because he's kind of a really shy guy. Plus, his drops bother me. So I can't put you there. You need to perform consistently, and you need to be also a vocal leader. So Waddle for me fails in both those areas. Jonnu Smith fills every goddamn box. So I would go with Jonnu Smith. That would be the only guy right now out of the receivers and tight ends that I would actually consider as a captain.
Yeah, and it's not like you need a captain out of every unit per se.
No.
So on offense, go ahead, go with Tua as your quarterback. He's got to be a captain and also continue to take strides. I feel like we've seen Tua take strides in his leadership every year. You see a little bit more him coming out of his shell originally and then maybe taking on some of the personalities. He's got to get on Tyreek Hill too. It's Mike McDaniel, it's him, and Tyreek himself. But
by the way, after you ask Tua that question, okay, you need to follow up with this. Isn't leadership doing whatever you have to do to be available for your team every single week? Because, when you give him that other question, he's going to dip and dive and do all kinds of stuff. And then you hit him with that follow-up. And that's where, you may be disliked for a while, but you're going to put him in a position and it's all decent. It's all solid. And it's all legit questions. Okay. Because you see Teron Armstead try to do whatever he can to play with 2, 3, 4, and 5 injuries on his body. Yeah. Right? Even when he's injured, he's trying to do whatever he can to be available. Dwayne Wade used to have to go through a 3-hour process before every game with his knee. When he effed up his knee finally at the back end of his career, he had a process that took 3 hours before every game. He had to be there super early and go through to prepare his knee to play every single night. That is dedication to being available for your team. And that's a process that we're talking about Wade and we're talking about Teron sacrificing their bodies that are already broken down to be there for their team. Well, a guy that is completely healthy and chooses to put his body at risk when he can't take it, that doesn't seem like leadership to me either. So leadership goes both ways. It's not just the rah-rah bullshit and all that, but it's also setting an example that I'm doing what's best for my team. And what's best for my team is not chasing some guy that intercepted me or taking on a tackler. What's best for me is getting rid of the football so I'm available next week because I'm the best quarterback on this team. So I should be there for my team. So that's why I think it's important to mention to him, isn't leadership doing whatever it takes to be available for your team every single week?
That's a great point. And I think that would resonate with him too. Just hearing that, which, just from that perspective too, because I know he wants to fix this. I would hope so, but just to hear it from the standpoint of that, it's also leadership.
Marino was fucking RoboCop. Fucking RoboCop. Okay? He would walk off, and when he was getting undressed, bro, he had this plastic-ass, big-ass boot that held his leg in place because of his effed up Achilles tendon. He had rib cage shit. He had all kinds of pads all over the place at the back end of his career. And I know because I covered him, and I would watch him after the game. And I knew that his body was all beaten the hell up. And he did whatever it took to be available for his team. And I have watched this in every sport that I have covered in my life. People do what they have to do to be available for their teammates. He fails in that every single time, except 2023.
Yeah. And it's an easier task for him. He's not Marino in his late 30s where he's got to hold his body together. He's in his mid-20s. All he's got to do is just play smart and protect himself. Your task to it is easier than Marino had at the end of his career to keep yourself available. You don't have to do all those other things, all that extra, you're not limping your way through the post in. You could just play smart out there.
Brady and Peyton Manning, get rid of the goddamn football. They weren't running. They weren't tackling anybody. They're statues. He actually moves better than those two guys. Just get rid of the football, dude. Make a decision. When you've got a radar and intelligence like he does, like Marino does, like Peyton Manning does, like Drew Brees does, like Bob Greasy does, when you come to the line, you already know where you're going. You see the coverages. You know exactly where you're going. Dude, get rid of it. That's it. Don't hold on and say, no, wait a minute. I can wait for the back end on this. No, you cannot. Okay? So get rid of it. And that's what Marino would do. I would have fans, friends of mine, okay? Not back then I wasn't on radio. Like I'm talking about early Marino days, mid-Marino days. I covered him on the back end. But I would see friends of mine that would get pissed when Marino would throw it away. And I would look at him like, yo, dude, do you understand that he needs to do this? Why is he going to take a hit? There's no reason to take a hit. He waits for the next play. And there are fans that didn't even understand that. Now fans are a lot smarter than they were back then. And so now they kind of understand it. But he doesn't understand it. And he's the goddamn player, bro. And that's the part I don't. I can't live with that, bro. I just can't. I can't comprehend what he does. I can't.
Of course, I hear you, Big O. And the one thing is, he has done it once. He did do it that 2023 season. You hope he could just revert back to going back. It's almost like he did it once, and then he felt comfortable again. Like, oh, okay, I got this. Now I can just do whatever I want because I already know I'm going to stay healthy. Nope. You get humbled very quickly in the NFL. So go back to protecting yourself to that level. And I think he can maybe do it.
Yeah. We'll see. All right. Jordan Schultz, my buddy, is reporting that there were 16 teams who were in favor of banning the tush push, which is 8 short of the amount that they need in order to ban it. So his sources say no vote on banning the tush push. I don't know if this is an April Fool's. I don't think it is, actually. And so it's being tabled for future meetings. I think that's a good thing. Personally, for me, I think they need to keep the tush push. Why?
I'm fine with it.
Why? Because they know how to do it and they do it well. And now it's all of a sudden dude, we're a copycat league, okay? If one team does it, everyone else does it. So why aren't you copying them? Oh, because it's really not a trick play or anything, right? It's because you don't have the personnel to do it. You don't have a quarterback that squats 600 pounds. It kind of helps. You know what I mean? It helps to have a quarterback that squats 600 pounds. And so if you have that, that's going to take you, to another level. And you've got to have the offensive line. And so to me, it sounds like a bunch of little, jealous bitches that want to, ban this thing when everybody else can do it. And why don't they? Why doesn't anybody else do the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar hook shot? Because I don't understand it. It was an unstoppable shot. Apparently, it must be really hard to do that in a game consistently like he did it. Apparently, or people are afraid to be ridiculed if they're not successful doing it, but it's kind of weird. So to me, I'm glad that they're not tabling it. It's something that they do well. You find a way to stop it. That's what you should do. And that's it. That's the way I look at it. But your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be easy to convert from 1 yard away. That's the way the game should be played. Not all teams can do it, though. So then now the team that has the highest success rate, you want to stop them. And that team happened to win the Super Bowl last year. So, yeah, if you have the personnel to do it. I mean, what's next? What would it stop at? You would say Derrick Henry is not allowed to touch the ball when you're 1 yard away? Would you say Rob Gronkowski you can't throw a jump ball to him? What would be the next thing? It's just absurd. Just because a certain team with its personnel can accomplish it at a high rate.
And by the way, you start doing that shit with the tush push. You know what they're going to say? out in the open field when a runner's running and a big lineman comes and pushes them, that's going to be illegal too now. You start giving them an inch, they take a mile all of a sudden. And no, dude, that's just not the way it goes. You don't like what the Eagles do? Well, then you need to goddamn stop it. Okay? That's what you need to do. Get your defenders and figure out a way to stop it. All right? Or you do it yourself. Find a way. If you have a quarterback that can do it and you have an offensive, and then God bless you, bro, go ahead and do it and take advantage of it. But penalizing the Eagles for doing something that they know how to do well and nobody else can do it, I think that's completely unfair, bro. I really do.
And I don't see the huge injury concern over it. I don't think there is solid data showing that people get injured on this play. I mean, yes, it's a big scrum, but I mean, that rugby, right? Zero. I mean, the more injuries are going to happen on high-speed collisions where there's so many plays like that than these close quarters type of
special
play.
team, like the wedge on special teams. Okay.
Right.
Dude, I understand that. Oh my God, to play that position, those collisions were deadly, bro. Okay, I'm good with that. I understand when you eliminated the wedge on the return, but here, nah, I'm not for it, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let them keep doing it.
Yeah, let them keep doing it. All right, what do you got? What are you working on so folks can check you out?
Yeah, a bunch of headlines yesterday from the Mike McDaniel press conference. So the Tyreek trade shutdown that had to happen again, of course, as we've covered. The latest on Calais Campbell and Teron Armstead situation. Mike McDaniel revealing that Zach Wilson was the top choice, actually, for the Dolphins' backup quarterback, which I found interesting. As I asked, why not a more veteran, experienced guy? And he
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what he said on the record. And then obviously the Tua protecting himself things, and spoke to a few of the NFC coaches for some of the Dolphins free agents and some insight. So Dan Campbell, who had a Fatu Melifonwu before, Todd Bowles, who had KJ Britt, the new linebacker, and also Mike McDonald with Seattle, who had Artie Burns last year over there. So just some of the guys. I wish I could have gotten to a lot of the AFC coaches, like hear from Mike Tomlin on James Daniels, or hear from Sean Payton, who had Zach Wilson last year in Denver. But on the AFC day, I had to be locked into Mike McDaniel's table. But still, a lot of good stuff at sunsentinel.com.
Well, that's where the Sentinel had to, spend a couple bucks and send Perk up there so somebody could work the other tables. See,
Perk was there with me, but then
he was
such a short period. It's such a short window. So that was the plan. But he also had a question or two to get to Mike, and then he did ask the doozy. Yeah, he asked the. And he had a doozy too. So, but then he felt like he couldn't leave. It's such a short window, 30 minutes. They need to make it an hour. That's what it used to be before I've ever done one of these. So hopefully one day it's back to that. But I don't see them ever giving us back more of the time with the media. It's probably going to stay 30 minutes, and it's a struggle if you got to be at Mike McDaniel's table and you want to talk to any other AFC coach.
What you do now compared to what I did 15 and 20 and 25 and 30 years ago, oh my God, it's less and less and less and less access. That's all they do, bro. That's all they do. That's that like in the Senior Bowl, they've done the same shit too. Less and less and less access, and it's like, okay,
But good of Mike McDaniel, he gave us some extra time actually. Because he realized like a lot of the questions we didn't even get to in the original 30 minutes. So him and the Dolphins PR staff, they gathered us together for another extra session that was just us, just the South Florida media who traveled. And that was really cool to see them do that for us.
He's a good guy, man. He's the guy that you want to succeed. You want Mike McDaniel to have success because he looks like a really good human being overall, but so is Dave Wanstead, bro. Dave Wanstead is a beautiful human being, and I'm sorry, just not good enough to be the head coach. And so it's the funny part. It's why we tolerate the asshole. You'll tolerate the asshole if he can win. But you won't even tolerate the nice guy if he can't win. It's a weird dynamic, man. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ and catch his incredible work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Better yet, subscribe. David, as always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up on Friday.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
You got it. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. You call my friends at Welton Ray Law, Jeff Welton, Daniel Ray Law. The consultation's completely free. So if you think you have a case or you're not sure if you have a case, just call Jeff and Dan, explain your situation, and then they'll tell you have a case. And even if they can't help you, maybe it's something odd that they don't work on, they'll tell you, we can't handle this, but we've got somebody we know, because that's happened with a couple of our listeners. They like, some of the listeners got back to me and said, oh man, your guys are so cool. They led me to another lawyer because they didn't handle my specific type of case, but they led me to somebody that is taking care of me and all that. That's what Jeff and Dan are all about, man. They're really good human beings. Okay. And that's what you're going to love about Jeff and Dan. So call them Welton Ray Law, 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Ray Law Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Ray Law, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Ray Law can help.
All right. Looking forward to a little Panthers tonight. I like it. By the way, Osmani Garcia and the great people at Omega Home Realty Group. And listen, if you're looking to sell your home, because it's happening right now, there's a lot of homes getting on the market here in Florida, anywhere in Florida that you're watching or listening. Osmani is available. It's his cell phone. You get to talk to him right away, 305-440-1990. And the Just 990 program, you can go to the website, just990.com, and you can sell your home for $990 instead of 6% commission. That's a huge difference, $990 from 6%, right? And it goes in so many ways, and it helps you out. And yes, you're going to get the compelling ad copy, color brochures, all of that. You're going to get the listings on MLS, on Zillow, on Realtor.com, on Homes.com, all of that, okay? And you get to set the preset show times for your home. Now, the buyers that are checking it out at just990.com, what they end up doing is sometimes they end up going to that same preset time, and you have multiple people looking at your home, and it creates a competitive atmosphere. Now, it doesn't end there. Osmani Garcia, an experienced realtor, I've known him for over 15 years, and a great dude, man, just an absolute salt of the earth human being. He's going to be working on the side trying to sell your home, because not everybody goes to the just990.com website, right? And so the people that don't see some of the ads, or maybe they don't run into it on Realtor.com, or they're not on Zillow and they're out on the streets or whatever, and Osmani runs into him, if he sets up a meeting and sells your home and it's the highest bid, you only pay 2.5% commission, and the $990 is waived. So this way, you have the $990 program working for you, selling your home for $990, and then on the side, you have a realtor working for you, not taking 6%, only 2.5%. So again, you are saving money. That's going to help you for your moving expenses. That's going to help you for the new place that you're moving into, that maybe you want to make some upgrades, maybe a vacation, whatever it is, man. You get to do a little bit more because you've got a little bit more money, thanks to the Omega Home Realty Group and the just990.com program. Go to the website, just990.com. Call Osmani, 305-440-1990. All right. Oh, man. So the Pelicans shut down Zion Williamson and CJ McCullough, but it's really more about Zion and I'm doing this because, of course, I always like to use a local angle And too many of you are talking about Zion and should the Heat give him a chance. The guy played 30 games this year. His fat, lazy ass, I don't care how he looks. I know he's talented, but I am sick and tired of talking about Zion Williamson. So I am not a fan of Zion Williamson. Never have been, actually. Since college, never trusted him, and I've been right on never trusting him. Okay? And he's been an absolute disappointment for the Pelicans. And it's a shame because the Pelicans the last couple of years might have had a team that, they could have had some fun with it. And if Zion could have been what he's supposed to be, maybe the Pelicans can make a little noise and have a little fun for New Orleans. But it's a real shame what's happened. Obviously, you feel bad for the Pelicans organization. They're trying to do what's best. But I it's just for you Heat fans out there. Why would you want to torture yourself with this guy? Why would you want to give up any kind of assets for this guy? Why would you give up any kind of significant cap space for this guy? Why would you sacrifice anything for Zion Williamson? That's the part I don't understand. So when I saw this story, I know that it's going to lead to the offseason and then the desperate Heat fan, and I get all of that, but please, dude. Please. No Zion Williamson. No Zion Williamson. At all. I don't want any more Zion Williamson. That's all I got to tell you. Let's see. What else do we have? True Fin Fan. Thank you for the love on the super chat. I'm chipping in for Furones AirPods. That's funny. I should have told him that. My bad. I'm sorry about that. Thank you, True Fin Fan. Very nice of you. Cash App or Venmo, another way to support the show. You can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And thank you, Ty in the Bronx, for a little love on Cash App. For Dolphins always screw themselves, Big O. Yes, they do, my brother. Yes, they do. And that's exactly what they've done. And again, the dynamics of you having to argue in the building whether to give them the money or not, and then for that decision to royally screw you over the year after, it's a, what's that called? It's a, it's just a dynamic that is disturbing. It really is. And it sucks for them. I feel bad for them. I really do. By the way, the market is responding right now. Crypto, that is. 84,500 right now for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is up, I would imagine. The Dow is barely up 34 points. The S&P is up 17. NASDAQ barely up to not even to a point yet. But nice to see the market responding. I don't know why. I have no idea why. It makes no sense, especially with what's going to happen tomorrow. So we'll see about that. Anyway, what else do we have to talk about on the show? Hey, when owners screw up, it's kind of cool to hear them kind of have a mea culpa there and kind of come clean, because there's a lot of times they're just pointing fingers. And one guy who has been a disaster of an owner is Jimmy Haslam. Jimmy Haslam of the Browns has been one of the worst owners in all of pro sports, period. But he's also a guy that is, he likes to overmanage. He's hands-on, as they say. And he was big on the Deshaun Watson trade. He was the guy that was leading the charge, along with the front office. So yesterday, he described the Deshaun Watson trade as a big swing and miss at the NFL owners' meetings. We thought we had the quarterback. We didn't. And we gave up a lot of draft picks to get him. So we've got to dig ourselves out of that hole. It was an entire organization decision, and it ends with D and I. So hold us accountable, Haslam said. I like that. I don't like Jimmy Haslam at all as an owner or whatever. You know, I know he has a lot of passion to win and all that bullshit, but he's a meddling owner. He's an idiot, to be quite honest. But I like this. I got to be objective about things, and I got to, when you're at least respectable and give yourself, you know, you put yourself out there for something that you did. I think that's huge. It's supposed to be that way, but it doesn't happen that way all the time, as you all know. So it's nice to see an owner come clean and say, yeah, hey guys, I screwed up. This is all on me. And boy, did he screw up in a big time way with that one. What else do we have on the chat board here? Tyreek isn't a bad thing. He just had a down year because Tua missed 6 games, losing faith in McDaniel, though. Tyreek's an idiot. Yeah, Justin, you couldn't be more clueless. Gus 1388. I'm beginning to think that listening is a lost art. Doesn't help much with communication if it's a lost art. Yeah. Yep. People definitely don't listen. Jay Gelfin in the house. For what it's worth, everybody is playing for next season now, reminding everybody to smash that like button. That's right. Please smash the like button. Smash. Only 50, and we got 106 watching right now. Thank you, Redhead. Appreciate you. Captain Saki in Tarpon Springs. Dolphin Dave is doing it and watching the show. Thank you, sir. Alexis Palenzuela, Sam the Man. Brandon Shore didn't want to give Tua that contract either. Well, all I can tell you is there was some torn people in that building with the Tyreek thing. And I don't know how the minority won out. So, Akaris 1 is in. Skylar Tipton, Furones needs AirPods or something. Yeah, no, I know. It's just, God, it's terrible. Thank you, Ian, chipping in. Luis Benito sending in 4,000 things, and we'll read none. Mark Smith, thank you, sir. They outlawed defensive players from pushing on each other in special teams because offensive linemen were getting hurt. What else? Zion is the greatest player since Greg Oden. Oh, man. Juan Rosa, let's vote for Zion to push shopping carts for Publix. That's pretty good. I like that. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't want him here. That's all. I just don't want him here in Miami. And the the Heat fans that like go crazy about, oh, we should try to bring him here and try to fix him and all that kind of stuff. You know? No way. Wow. Well, Sean, take down that Cash App. Well, here we go. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. But we are just skyrocketing here right now to 85. Wow. See that parabolic shot? Boom. Maybe nothing. Maybe something. Maybe something, honey. Who knows? I'll tell you this, no matter what, this baby is about to just go into a flat out. You'll see in the next couple of months. I think we'll have another rough quarter here. But by the third, fourth quarters, one way or the other, if it's good and all the stuff they're doing starts to turn for the better, or it starts to turn for the worse, either one will jack the crap out of Bitcoin to kingdom come. Okay? I'm just saying. So be prepared. Be prepared. Okay? Because it's coming. Let's see, what else do we have here? Big O, I expect nothing from our Dolphins. I don't either. I am expecting an absolutely bad season. I'm expecting no playoffs. And if they do something different, I'll be super surprised and super happy. Okay? But I'm at a point now where I have no expectations for Mike McDaniel whatsoever. I don't think he's the guy. So he's going to have to absolutely prove me wrong. And I would love to be proven wrong, because every time I give up on a coach, he's done. I've never given up on a coach in South Florida history that all of a sudden turned it around and became a good coach. So usually when I've given up on a coach, they end up fired and they're gone. And if you look at it, by the way, none of our coaches for the Dolphins ever turn into anything. Did Wanstead go anywhere in the NFL? Did he do anything? Made a little noise in Pittsburgh at college, but did he do anything in the NFL? No. Did Saban go to the NFL and kick ass after he left? No. Went to college. Cam Cameron? I don't know. Brian Flores? Anybody? Philbin? Any coach? Any of the coaches fired by the Dolphins, did they go and become a great head coach again in the NFL? Did they even become a good head coach in the NFL? Did they even go to become a mediocre head coach in the NFL? No. Every coach like Adam Gase that's been fired by the Miami Dolphins has done nothing ever again in the NFL. It's interesting, huh? Which shows you every coach you've hired has been the wrong hire. It's not like watching John Jerry get cut and play better than he ever did somewhere else than he did here. Or Billy Turner. Or Brandon Jones last year. That you cut him and he had a terrific year for Denver. I think it was Denver, right, that he was at. Shit like that. No. Every coach you hired and fired for the Miami Dolphins is a failure. The only guy that's had success is Dan the Man, and that's because he was an interim coach. And he still had to go to New Orleans to learn how to be a coach. And because he didn't learn shit here, he learned with Sean Payton. Clearly. A lot of you missed that part out, of course, but whatever. But it's funny how all the coaches, every head coach hired and fired by the Miami Dolphins has done nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're all garbage. Every single one of them. So it's interesting. It's interesting. It shows that everybody you've hired has been the wrong coach. Every single one of them. It's pretty bad. Dolphin Dave says, I'm at the point that all you can do is just watch the Dolphins play football and wish them well. Go Dolphins. Big O. Thanks for the show. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you, dude. I love them. I'm going to watch them. I'm going to support them. I'm going to root for them. But I expect absolutely nothing this year. I expect another disappointing season and no playoffs. And, I expect, unfortunately, major changes in the offseason because that's where this guy's going to lead us to. So, yeah, I have zero expectations for this season. This has kind of been the worst season I've ever felt about the Dolphins upcoming, pretty much. Maybe there's one more other season that I don't remember years back or something, but this is a season where I have no expectations at all. None. So I'm with you, Quantum. Joseph in the house. Detroit's coach was an interim head coach. Dan C. No, they shouldn't have kept him. Mark Smith. Again, lots of you say that incredibly stupid shit because, again, he had to go to New Orleans to actually learn how to be a head coach. But people like Mark Smith just overlook that and then just say stupid shit. And if they would have kept Dan Campbell, he would have failed miserably here. But hey, Mark Smith, you keep thinking stupid shit, my brother. It's all good. There's plenty of you fucking idiots out there. Plenty of you fucking idiots. Plenty of you fucking idiots. Of course, because you learn how to go be a pilot at an arcade place. I sat in the F-150 simulator. I'm ready to go. Well, what do I need to go to Top Gun? You were in Miami, interim for a couple of games. Yeah, you're ready to be a head coach. Yeah, no. The head coach you learned from here in Miami really prepared you. Yeah, no, the 4 or 5 years, 6 years, whatever it was with Shot. Nah, that didn't prepare him at all. No. Of course. His short time here with the Dolphins and the Oklahoma drill alone, because after the first 2 games, they really had success after that, right? Mark Smith, there's a lot of stupid fucking people like you, bro. A lot of stupid people that say the same dumb ass shit about Dan Campbell. Like the same dumb ass shit. Have I repeated it enough? Have I made my point how incredibly stupid you are to think that? Guys like Mark Smith think that you can go learn law down in Calle there in Domino Park. You've argued enough, you're ready to go to court. You don't need to go to Duke or Miami or USC or something to study law. No, dude. Just go to Domino Park. Argue with a bunch of old Cubans, and if you win a couple of arguments, bro, you're ready. You're ready, Mark Smith. So get on down to Domino Park, bro. You'll be a lawyer in a month. The only time I disagreed with you about a coach needing to go was Shula. You have a pretty good track record, 3 to 4 year coaching cycles of hell continues. Exactly. Yeah, the Shula one, I made that mistake. I made that one, and I will admit it. And that's why I won't make the Riley one. I'll never make the Riley one. I could disagree with Riley, and I'll tell you, hey, bro, Riley's screwed up here a couple times. But no. You stay as long as you want to stay, Riles. You'll figure it out, bro. I'm here. I'm here to support you. I'm going to tell you, hey, bro, I disagree with that move. Come on, Riles. Let's go. You're better. But I learned my lesson with Shula. I'll never do that to Riley. I failed Shula, like a lot of us. I am not failing Riley. Not failing Riley. So, too funny. I'd forgotten about the Oklahoma drill and the tug of war. No, you forgot that they sucked after those 2 games. You forgot that they sucked after those 2 games. They played 2 incredible games. We talked about this, haven't we? Like they won like 70 to like 20 or something in those 2 games. And then after that, they did nothing. Again, you don't get ready to be a lawyer at Domino Park. You just don't. And you don't learn how to fly only in a simulator. And you certainly don't learn how to be a head coach in the Miami Dolphins organization. That's like saying, I'm ready to compete with Chef Ramsay. I've been at Burger King for 5 years. It's a little rough. Anyway. So. Oh, by the way, props to Lisa Leslie. Okay? Mad props to Lisa Leslie because I love people who tell it like it is. So, they asked the two-time WNBA champion about some advice for the league, and she said, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, stop it. I think we have to understand when one player eats, we're all eating, and we all get more opportunities. It just opens it up for everyone else, Leslie says. Do you know why Leslie says that? Because she's one of those women that helped other women eat. Like Caitlin Clark, like Tiger Woods, like Tom Brady. It's just kind of the way it goes, bro. You know? I love that she's not the player that makes it all about her. She's given love and homage to the players that have come before her. She shares the wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. Okay? We can't deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game. Have we ever had teams need larger arenas? Are we going to get upset about 5, 6, 10 games less on TV? We have access to these games now in a way that we've never had before. Okay? I love that she's... Why? Because 41 of their games out of their 44, I forgot how many it is or whatever, is televised. Most of her games are televised. So then apparently they asked Nafisa Collier, who's a hell of a player in her own right, by the way. She's a really good player. But she got all bent out of shape and says, well, you know, the fact that the Fever have more games than the team that won the championship is wrong, and this, not. No, it's not. And this is the problem. The WNBA is the dumbest fucking league in pro sports. It's run by the dumbest people in pro sports. They screwed up everything with Caitlin Clark last year and didn't take advantage of it. This year, it looks like they're learning their lesson, and they're putting her all over the place because she's carrying the goddamn league. She's the only player in that league's history that moves their games to NBA arenas. No WNBA player has ever done that. So it's good to see Lisa Leslie, who's one of the building blocks of this league, who's one of the superstars in the history of this league, and she gets it. She knows that Michael Jordan helps everybody else eat. She knows it. She knows Wemby helps everybody else eat. You're not going out there to try to take Tiger Woods or Wemby out of the game. But yet these idiots in the WNBA want to try to take out the one girl that is lifting the league to heights it's never, ever been before. That's racism, jealousy, because there's a bunch of racism involved. A bunch of racism involved. And a crap ton of jealousy. And it's disgusting. So glad to see Lisa Leslie standing up for what's right. And typical to see Nafisa Collier miss the point, not get it, not understand it, and be the same ignorant fool that league is full of. Okay? Because it's full of a bunch of ignorant asses. It's the best way to put it. Okay? A bunch of ignorant asses in that league. You got a gift. Milk it, bro. The NBA got a gift in 1980 called Magic and Bird. And that's what lifted the WNBA from pre-recorded finals and cocaine and disintegration and disorderly and disgusting and just downright in the gutter, because that's where it was. And then here comes Magic and Bird. It happens in all these leagues, dude. You know, the NASL back when I was a kid had a moment with Pele. And it lifted the league, bro. There were 70,000 people in New York watching Pele and the Cosmos. And wherever he went, it was like the Beatles. Same thing's happening with Messi. And some of these are things that you have to take advantage of. When your league ends up with Gretzky, brother, you write it. You know? And when your league has Ovechkin, you write it. That's what you do. And when your sport produces Lindsey Vonn, you write it. Because this is what's going to put women's slalom downhill skiing on the map. Because she's putting it in places it's never been. And then it magnifies the sport and it helps them down the line. So when you have Apollo Anton Ono and Eric Hayden, you milk it. It's what you do. Except in the WNBA. No, we want to shit on the thing that's going to lift our league to heights it's never been. Freaking hilarious, dude. It's hilarious how stupid some of the women are in that league. Just freaking stupid. Anyway, done with that. Let's see. People seem to forget that Dan Campbell got his training under Sean Payton for years. You said it many times. We try to educate. But you can only educate so far. As you can see in the WNBA, not a lot of education there. NorCal says, Big O, I'm not a financial advisor, but I think RIVN is going to 30 in the next few months and possibly 3X. That's if they build cars that last. All right. That's the Rivian. Is that the electric car, Rivian? It's actually a really cool car. It looks nice. I've seen the Rivian all over the place. I like the truck more than the car, I think it is. I think that's the one that I like the truck more than the car. So I've seen it. Yeah. Listen, the electric car company that is killing it is not here in this country. BYD is the one that's making Tesla shit in its pants. That's the one. When it comes to electric, BYD is the dog that people have to deal with outside of the United States. They have an $11,000 electric car, BYD. Like cars that you would pay for like 80, 100,000, they'll sell you one that's like 50. And it has everything that the one that's 100,000 has. BYD is the one that's the company that is absolutely taking electric cars to a stratosphere that it's never. They just took out a battery that charges like in 10 minutes. Something stupid like that. Go look it up somewhere. I forgot how many minutes. Look it up for me, Sean. BYD, new battery, charges fast, and that'll come up right away. But look out for BYD, bro. So if you can actually NorCal invest in BYD through off-seas stuff, do it, bro. BYD's killing it. Yeah.
BYD's 5-minute fast charging system is quick as filling up a tank.
5 minutes. I said 10. 5 minutes, bro. But I think it's 5 minutes and it's 80%, if I'm correct. Like 80% of your battery or 90 or something like that. Not the whole battery, but I think it's like 80 or 90% like in 5 minutes. Yeah. I think it's not the whole battery. Just want to make sure, a little caveat to that. Just want to make sure we have all the information. Check it out for me there, Sean. Just want to make sure we're giving people the right scoop there on that. Cheryl Swoops is one of my bro. It's funny because she was a needle mover, Cheryl Swoops, and she has been super stupid on the whole Caitlin Clark front. I agree. It's crazy to me. Yes, sir.
You get 250 miles of range in 5 minutes.
Right. It's like 80% or 90% of the battery or something like that.
Break it down and
because
looking at it doesn't have it broken down.
I think they go over 300 anyways. So yeah, I think that's what it is. I want to say it's like 80 or 90% of the battery. I'm pretty sure of that. I think that's what I read. Let's see what else. Keeping Caitlin Clark from the Olympic team. Oh God, was that a stupid move? Just because you wanted to give Diana Rusi, right? Diana Rossini. No, isn't that that's the reporter. It's Diana
Rossi.
Yeah.
Is that hold on?
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, they wanted to give her like, I think it was like her 5th or 6th.
They said Taurasi, yeah.
Taurasi, that's it, Taurasi. They wanted to give Diana Taurasi like her 5th or 6th Olympics or something because she's like 41 or something. Really? I get it, dude. She's a pillar of the league and all that. But you have somebody that would have taken the viewership to a whole nother level. It's a really stupid league. The WNBA is the most mismanaged league in the world. Okay? They have been given a superstar gift and they have mismanaged it every way possible. And the ladies that are part of it have contributed to this stupidity immensely, dude. Man, I mean, some really stupid people in that league. We all know Dan Campbell took Sally Struthers' ICS Learn from Home courses to get ready for to be the man. That's right. That's right. Sally Struthers. Do I have? I think I have. I think I can. You guys want to hear from Sally Struthers? By the way, Sean, have we ever gotten tagged for any of the Neil stuff whenever we play them? No, right?
We won't get hit. We won't get hit for audio usually. I mean, it's the video's the one that gets us.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's see. Yeah.
And now this public service announcement about Sally Struthers.
For $90, you could clothe a child. For $90, you could help fight cancer. Or you could feed Sally Struthers for a whole day for just $90.
I'm Sally Struthers. Working with starving people like I do can make you pretty hungry. And since there's not enough food to go around here, my food has to be shipped in every day. Your $90 will keep me fat and sassy so I can set a good example for these skinny little Ethiopians.
Remember, it takes more than shoulder pads and a big hairdo for Sally to do good work. It also takes food. Don't be a meathead. Give us $90. It'll feed Sally Struthers for a whole day.
God bless you, Neil. We miss you, brother. There you go. For those of you, that miss Neil Rogers.
I can have an orgasm just driving down I-95. Ow!
Okay. All right. That's how it goes. So you got your Sally Struthers fix for the day. You guys really can't complain. Okay. That's all. Morning. Oh, let's face it. A lot of us have eggs on our faces when we push Shula out. Yeah, we did. We did. You know what we deserve for pushing Shula out?
Well, I was driving down I-95 the other night. Somebody nearly cut me right off the road. I decided it wasn't going to do any good to get mad, so I wrote a song about him instead. It goes like this. Were ye born an asshole, or did you work it your whole life? Either way, it worked out fine, 'cause you're an asshole tonight. Yes, you're an A-S-S-H-O-L-E, and don't you try to blame it on me. You deserve all the credit. You're an asshole tonight. You were an asshole yesterday. You're an asshole tonight. And I've got a feeling you'll be an asshole the rest of your life.
Gotta have that solo.
I was talking to your mother just the other night. I told her I thought you were an asshole. She said, yes, I think you're right. And all your friends are assholes, 'cause you've known them your whole life. And somebody told me you've got an asshole for a wife. Were you born an asshole, or did you work it your whole life? Either way, it worked out fine, 'cause you're an asshole tonight.
Nothing like the asshole song. I mean, that's just one that was constantly asked for on the Neil Rogers show. A lot of you have no idea even who Neil Rogers is, but he was here in South Florida. He was on for, I want to say it's like 35 years, maybe 40 years, and several stations. He was on IOD. He was on 790. He was on 610. 560. I think he was on Zeta too. He was on FM also. I remember, I think I was in 9th grade when he was on Zeta. So he was all over the place and obviously was a monster. And he did a talk show that you could never do nowadays. And it's a shame because it was fun. It was really fun, I got to say. And he used to play all these kind of drops all the time. And so people would absolutely love it, dude. And they would get to hear all this kind of stuff that they would never hear anywhere, else.
We got a 69 in progress at the Triple X Theater. Officers requesting backup and a roll of paper towels.
I love myself, 'cause no one will love me. When I feel down, I run to the movies. Give the usher my stub. It's all kind of sleazy. I unzip my pants, 'cause I'm feeling pee-wee. I didn't hurt anybody else, so leave me alone so I can touch myself. I didn't hurt anybody else. I mean, I didn't touch animals. I only choked one chicken.
Is that a gun in your pocket, Pee-wee, or are you just happy to see us?
What's with the cops? Why'd they come running?
It is so hard.
Those were things that we used to listen to back in the day. And, it's just something that you missed out on. It's the only thing I can tell you. I can't tell you anything else except you missed out on Neil.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. So that's just kind of the way it goes. Anyway, A-Rod says, I'm dying over here. I think I may have, I'm dying over here. I think I might have that one. Do I have that one? I have this one.
I have no life. I'm dying over here.
There you go. There you go. If you want to steal it, you can go.
Saturday morning, join Bullwinkle J. Moose and his bully buddy Saddam Hussein for the madcap misadventures of Iraqi and Bullwinkle.
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie. The United Nations is about to speak.
Who cares? Give me that crystal ball.
Reckon he got up on the wrong side of the bunker. Perhaps a poem will help. Saddam, you're one whacked out dude. And just like your oil, you're smelly and crude.
Hey, Moose, did you see your squirrel friend?
Oh, you mean Rocky? Sure, he's over there. And over there, and over there. Oh my, Rocky! What do you know about this, Saddam?
Don't ask me. Ask my auntie.
Auntie? Auntie who?
Auntie Aircraft.
Oh no!
Join us next time.
Boy, does he have a lot of chutzpah.
Please play the bridge tender. Oh, God. Should I play the bridge tender? There's 84 people watching right now. Should I play the bridge tender? Do you guys even know what the bridge tender is? Let me see what reaction I get on the chat board right now on the bridge tender. Have you heard the bridge tender yourself, Sean? You ever heard it once? You heard it once? All right, guys, I probably played it sometime in the past. Anybody? Well, of course, A-Rod, you're going to say yes. True Fin Fan says nope. Now we have to hear the bridge tender. Gus says yes. Yes. Well, A-Rod threw in another yes. True Fin Fan, have you ever heard the bridge tender? Just out of curiosity. We got to be honest now. Have you ever heard the bridge tender, True Fin Fan?
I think that's what he's saying nope to, actually, maybe.
What do you mean nope to? Oh, he says no.
You asked, have you heard the bridge tender? And then he said nope.
Okay, he's never heard it. That's why. Yeah. Okay. Well, the bridge tender was an old man that called Neil Rogers, and they had an argument over the bridge being opened and traffic being stopped. And so the old man was all for the bridge being open and stopping a bunch of traffic. So Neil Rogers knew that the old man was kind of, old. And so he wanted to mess with him. And this is what happened.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about bridges,
About
cars,
what?
and boats that you talked about earlier.
About what?
Bridges, cars, and boats.
No, we're talking about bridges over the causeway, not the ones in your mouth.
I don't have any, my friend.
Okay.
Okay?
Just calm down, sir. Take a deep breath.
Dandy. Those are regulated by the United Corps of Engineers. You knew that, didn't you?
No.
Well, it is. All bridges over navigable waterways.
See, if I knew that, I wouldn't have been asking. See.
What's that?
I said if I knew the answer to the question, I wouldn't have asked it in the first place.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying, sir, is that the United States Corps of Engineers are the ones that regulate bridges over navigable waterways.
Over what?
Navigable waterways.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's up to them to decide what time the bridges should not be open to the marine traffic.
Yes. And what time should they not be open to marine traffic, sir?
I'm telling you that they come up with the times.
Well, what is the time?
I believe it's at rush hour times, sir. that they are not open to marine traffic. Other than that, they are open to marine traffic.
So, in other words, any schlep with a boat can come along and back up traffic for 2 miles.
That is absolutely correct, sir.
Well, what kind of a communist bunch of crap is that?
That is not a communist bunch of crap, sir.
Sounds like some kind of Neanderthal fascist commie pinko conspiracy to me.
Automobiles to one boat.
Right, exactly.
Now the boat is going to stop for 5,000 cars? Is that it?
No, I think that 50,000 cars ought to stop for one jackass in his boat. I think that's what they ought to do.
Man, you better know your laws, mister, because you sure don't.
That's right.
I suppose you want the damn bridges closed to boat traffic in a hurricane, too.
I want the bridges closed, period, okay? I want them closed. I want the bridge tender to go home and watch MTV and get the hell out of our lives.
In other words,
I want those
boat,
bridges closed. Let them use the Julia Tuttle, okay? Let them use the MacArthur Causeway. I think they ought to go on the George Washington Bridge and jump all the bridge tenders. How do you like that, sir?
Well, I don't know about you, but you sound like some stupid, idiotic jerk.
I still laugh at it. I still enjoy it. It's still funny to this day. It's 40 years old or 30 years. No, it's 40 years old. It's definitely 40 years old. And I still enjoy listening to the bridge tender. It is still one of the best phone calls, and, just the way Neil worked him up. It was just absolutely, I just sit there and say, right. That's it. That's what I end up saying. That's all. So.
Hey, Pee-wee, pull my finger.
Anyway, what can I tell you? There's a lot of stuff I have here of Neil. A lot of stuff that that you guys would love if you're Neil fans, all that kind of stuff.
Hey, there we go. Hey, y'all, my name is Clarence Eugene Thomas, President Bush's nominee for the Supreme Court. And there's lots of people out there that think just because I smoked a little marijuana when I was in college, and it wasn't nothing but a pen joint, well, maybe a cigar side joint, I don't remember, y'all, that they don't think I'm fit to be on the Supreme Court. Yeah, I got the munchies. Let's do this quick and get out of here. I want to set y'all straight. When I start reviewing the law, I don't just review the law. Hell, y'all, I'll be toking. And I toke it to the east, and I toke it to the west, and I toke it while I look up Sandra Day O'Connor's dress. I'll be toking. Let's go burn one, y'all.
So there you go. Let's back that Bush's selection for the Supreme Court so long ago, dude. So long ago that nobody remembers that kind of stuff except us old people. So, there you go. That's just kind of some of the stuff that we have here for you guys. Anyway, let me get to a little music, by the way. You guys got any questions? Fire away too. Let me get to a little music, since we always like mentioning some of the music news and notes. All right, let's start off with musicians born on this date, on April 1st. Method Man, rapper, record producer, actor Clifford Smith, also from Wu-Tang Clan. 71, born on this date in 71. Peter O'Toole from Hot House Flowers, born in 1965. Mark White with the English band ABC, Shoot That Poison Arrow. Born in 1961, he's a guitarist with them. Susan Boyle, wow, I haven't heard that name in a long time. She's the one that won the British American Idol or whatever. She was born 1961. Jeff Porcaro, absolute stud, drummer, songwriter, record producer. Best known for his work, of course, with Toto, but he also was on Steely Dan. And I'm telling you, you need to watch Yacht Rock, the documentary. Okay. Jeff Porcaro played with Paul McCartney, Dire Straits, Pink Floyd, Michael Jackson, Joe Walsh, Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, and 100 others. Okay. He was just an elite musician. In 52, and by the way, we lost him in 92, rest in peace. In 52, Bill Curry was born on this day, keyboardist with Ultravox. What's that song? Vienna. Yes. I love that song. Great song. Let's see who else. Henry Gross, best known as a member of Sha Na Na, born in 1951. Ronnie Lane, bass player and vocalist with Small Faces, born in 1946. We lost him in 97. Rest in peace. John Barbata, drummer with the Turtles. We lost him in 2024, just last year at the age of 79. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Rudolph Isley from the Isley Brothers, born in 1939. We lost him in 2023 at the age of 84. All right. Let's go with other famous people born on April 1st, on April Fool's Day. Logan Paul. Did you know that, Sean, that Logan Paul was born on this date? Well, there's a wrestler that I know you're going to mention.
Yes, sir. He's a fool.
He is. He is a fool. A rich fool. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays today. Well, Debbie Reynolds was born on this date in 32. We lost her in 2016. Sean Taylor, UM, born in 83 on this date. We lost him in 2007. Rest in peace to Sean. Brooke Lopez is 37 today. Let's see. Matt Lanter, TV actor, is 42. And Hillary Scott, country singer. I don't know much about country. I don't know if she's big or not, but anyway, mentioned her. What do we got in wrestlers, sir?
Well, it took my first fool, Logan Paul. AC Jazz turns 54. Jesse Sorensen turns 36. And the great legend killer, Randy Orton, he turns 45 today on the first day of April 2025.
Okay, I see. I didn't consider Logan Paul a wrestler. I thought he was one of those fake boxers.
No, he's a full-time pro wrestler now. He's signed to the contract.
So he's
WWE. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not the other one, but Logan is, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the one that can't box. So yeah, I get it. All right, let's go over to music history. What happened on April 1st in music history? First, we start off in 1985, where David Lee Roth left Van Halen to pursue a solo career, and it wasn't April Fool's Day. In 61, the Beatles began a 3-month residency at Hamburg's Top 10 Club. The band played 92 straight nights performing 7 hours a night on weekdays and 8 hours a night on weekends. During that time, the Fab Four lived in the attic above the club. That's crazy. In 2007, Modest Mouse topped the album charts with When We Were Dead Before the Ships Even Sank, which featured a new band member, former Smiths guitarist Johnny Marr. In 2000, Santana started a 9-week run at number 1 on the singles charts with Maria Maria. In 2001, Crazy Town had the number 1 single in the country with Butterfly. In 1970, An April Fool's joke, John Lennon and Yoko Ono announced in a press release that they planned on undergoing dual sex change operations. And of course, they probably freaked out then too. And that's what happened today in music history. All right. By the way, also in music, if you're a Beatles fan, Sony reveals the Beatles cast. They are releasing 4 films in April of 2028. Sony Pictures Entertainment has revealed more about its big bet on the Beatles. The studio will release 4 films about the Beatles, each following a different member of the band, all in April of 2028. Director Sam Mendes, Sony Film Chairman Tom Rothman, said Monday during a presentation at the CinemaCon trade convention in Vegas. Hold on, did I agree to that? Rothman joked to Mendes. You said it would be the first binge-able theatric experience. The Culver City Studios rounded out its presentation by announcing the cast of the film and brought all 4 on stage. Paul Mescal will play Paul McCartney. Joseph Quinn will play George Harrison. Barry Keoghan will play Ringo Starr. And Harry Dickinson will play John Lennon. The 4 came on stage in black pants and shirts and took the Beatles' bow. The cast and crew will be in principal photography just over a year, Mendes says. So, interesting that you're doing a movie and you're doing it individually for each Beatle. It's kind of I don't know how that's going to go over. And some of this stuff, and I know with technology and everything, it's better nowadays to do all of that. But have you waited too long? You know, that a lot of the people that saw the Beatles may not be around anymore, or hell, they might be even too old to get to the damn, theater. So it's just kind of interesting, because hell, I was born in 1966. So you're talking about somebody that is easily 20 years older than I am. So if I'm 58, we're talking about somebody that's 78. You're up there already at that point. So that's, you just wonder, have you waited too long to really capitalize on something like this? And are you better off doing one that's about them completely, But whatever. Pat in Nashville says Hot House Flowers opened for Midnight Oil at a show in the 90s. Girls next to us got pulled up on stage. Then they went backstage. They were super upset later when they got back, crying, poor girls. Yeah, probably the experience wasn't what they thought it was going to be. True FinFan, I came to bring the pain hardcore to the brain. There you go. So One-Eyed Jack enjoyed it. Ocala Joe had some laughing emojis. So you guys enjoyed the bridge tender. There you go. So it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. Do I have another one I can play that might be half decent?
Dwayne Stop, Substance Abuse Awareness Campaign. This is take 9. Dwayne, that's your cue.
Oh, right. Anytime you're ready.
We're ready, Dwayne.
Oh, hi. This is Dwayne Stomp of Blacktooth. Telling you, if you do drugs this weekend, don't drive.
Wrong again, Dwayne. It's don't do drugs. Don't do drugs.
That's what I said.
No, it's not. It's not even close to what you said.
You come in this booth, I'll show you how close it was, Sherlock.
We're going to do it again, Dwayne. Say don't do drugs. If you must drink this holiday weekend, do not drive. Take 12.
This is Dwayne Stomp. Weekends are for drunks. do drugs.
Okay, Dwayne, thank you very much for coming in. I think with a little editing, we've got something we can use.
Don't do drugs. And if
You must drink.
this holiday weekend, don't.
Drive.
There you go. Little editing solves it all. That's it. So this is what we had every day. It was just it was fun. It was fun. And it's stuff that we cannot do anymore, unfortunately. We definitely could not do it. It would be Neil would be thrown in jail to do the show he used to do. They would definitely wipe him out.
Hello again, everyone, from the Channel 7 News Center. I'm Rick Sanchez with your 60-second Gulf War update. We have some new reports that just came in. They're hard to explain, so let's move to the Middle East war map. Rick's World, if you will, and I'll try to explain.
Rick's World. Party on, excellent.
Party on, everyone. I'm your most excellent anchor, Rick Sanchez, and with me, as always, Sally Fitz. Party on, Sal.
Party on, Rick. Called San Pedro lately?
Not since I've been back from Houston. People in the business remember, but fortunately for me, the public has a short memory.
Say, what about that guy you flattened? Is he still in a coma?
Yeah, still in a coma. I'm so glad you brought that up, Sal. Not. Anyway, Hussein blew off a couple more scuds at the occupied West Bank, but those awesome Patriot dudes intercepted.
Kaboom! Kaboom!
As you know, the insane Hussein, gosh, can I turn an original phrase or what? Yes, poison gas, but as I squat over Baghdad.
Gas mask alert.
I'll give him a gas of my own.
Hot air out of both ends.
Hussein today said,
Yeah, look at the...
I do not know the secret weapon the Americans have. The 40-foot colossal news anchor with the chapped lips, squatting over my country with the smelly gas. My troops are all fleeing, but for me, I ran, but I couldn't hide.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Party on, Sal.
Party on, Rick.
I'll sit and squat so you worry not. Rick over Iraq for Channel 7 News.
The question is, does Sally Fitz? Does Don know? You know, these are inquiring minds. That's the way it goes. By the way, one sad note today. It's been 6 years, and it was yesterday, by the way, not today. I didn't mention it. 6 years since we lost Nipsey Hussle. On March 31st of 2019, the Grammy-nominated artist, born Ermias Askedom, was shot and killed outside the Marathon store off West Slauson Avenue and Crenshaw Boulevard. The 33-year-old suffered from at least 10 gunshots from Eric Holder Jr.'s semi-automatic gun and revolver after a dispute over alleged snitching allegations. Holder also shot 2 others in the process, but Hussle was the only one who passed away from his injuries. The entire hip-hop community and his family and all those who knew Nipsey were equally impacted by his death. He was survived by his longtime girlfriend, Laura London, who shares a son, Cross, with the rapper and his daughter, Imani, and his brother, Samuel, Black Sam, his sister Samantha Smith, and his parents Dawit and Angelique. They were in attendance as they laid him to rest during a massive funeral service at the Staples Center. So just kind of sad, because this is a guy that kind of picked himself up from nothing, made himself something, and then was helping lift others in the process when this idiot took his life. So it's kind of sad, and I forgot to mention that yesterday, because, you know, few people in life make an impact and then are good enough to take others with them on the ride. And Nipsey Hussle was one of those dudes that was taking others with him on the ride and making others better, which is really, really cool. So just wanted to mention that too. Let's see, what else do we have? Drew with a little Beatles mania. Do we still have Beatles mania? I don't know. I don't know if there's I don't know if younger generations really appreciate the Beatles. It's kind of crazy. So the NFL owners have tabled the tush push, which I like. Messi's bodyguard has been banned from MLS sidelines. Did you hear about that, Sean? Messi bodyguard Yassine Checo has been banned from protecting the Argentine forward from the touchline during Inter Miami matches. The former Navy SEAL gained widespread recognition after social media videos showed him closely watching the crowd to stop potential pitch invaders from harming the 8-time Balón de Oro winner. MLS has decided to take full control of matchday security, and Chuenko will be permitted only in the locker room and in mixed zones. They do not allow me to be on the field anymore, the bodyguard told the Spanish media. I was in Europe for 7 years, working for Liga 1 and Champions League, and only 6 people invaded the pitch. I came to the USA, and in just 20 months, 16 people have already done so. There's a huge problem here. I'm not the problem. Let me help Messi. And he can run too, bro. That one video that shows him like darting as he sees, because he's looking at the entire pitch. And so then wherever that person's coming from, they've got to make a little bit of a journey too. And so he's got to try to time it, perfectly to get there. I kind of find it weird that Messi didn't get his way here, right? He has gotten his way in everything that they've done so far in the league. They have, and especially this team, they bend over backwards and do everything for him. So I'm a little surprised and I would be a little concerned now if I'm Messi, because I wouldn't trust their people. Yes, sir.
I went to the game at the CONCACAF Cup against KC, and they had a security guard, one on the front side, one on the back side, every 10 feet. Around the whole pitch.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's the new security thing, if that's just in Miami or just when Messi plays, but like I'd never seen anything like that. Like it would look like it was like a World Series type game when they all surround, when they had all the guards there and everything before they put up the nets and everything. But yeah, there's a lot more security now, at least from when we were there. There's a lot more security measures, but I didn't know that he had been banned. But that kind of makes sense now with as much as, but again, some of them are older. Some of them, it's like you said, I guess maybe that's why they do like a double layer. So if one guy doesn't catch them, the next person does.
But I would imagine that's only for messy games, because I don't think
they're not
trying to get on the pitch to hug the other guys. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So it's probably just messy games where they've got to raise the budget on security.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
You got to protect your investment.
Yeah, dude. By the way, we will be at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines in a couple of weeks. And right now, folks, they've got the Spring into Performance sales event going on. They are the #1 volume Acura dealership in the United States. And you've got to check out the new ADX. You can get it for $359 a month. It has just arrived. It is in stock. It is a beautiful, beautiful sedan. Check it out. The Integra 2025 model, you can get it for $339 a month. 3.9% financing for 60 months. The ZDX, get electrified. I love it. Get over 300 miles to the charge, $439 a month. 0% financing for 72 months. The RDX, we've had a lot of experience in our house with the RDX. Great vehicle. My wife still drives hers, and it's 15 years old. $399 a month. #1 volume sales dealership in the USA. Get on down there, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, they do an amazing job. We got a great sales staff out there. And if you own or lease an Acura, Mike Chen and Jordan Ferber, they are awesome, bro. They will take care of you. Good people out there at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right. All right, folks. Let's see. Bigger voice, Steven Tyler or Sammy Hagar? Oh, God, no, Steven Tyler for sure. Steven Tyler, yeah. Sammy Hagar's got a terrific voice, don't get me wrong, but Steven Tyler's voice is special, okay? Special. He's pretty damn good, bro. Not a good person and all that. There's a lot of that other crap going on with him. But yeah, it's yeah, I'm with you there. All right. Time to wrap it up, folks. Appreciate you all out there. As always, we thank the great Sean Stanley. We'll see you tomorrow morning, as always, at 10 a.m., ready to rock and roll. We thank David Furones. If you missed David or anything else, you can rewind. Also, Sean will put together a bunch of rants and put it on audio and on video and all that good stuff, and you can catch up. Appreciate all of you out there. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button on your way out. If you sent in a donation, Cash App or Venmo, thank you. As always, great way to support us is by making a donation to the show. You can also make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always appreciate that. And, of course, we are trying to go to Spain. And we've got a GoFundMe page for the trip to Spain because it's quite a bit. And we haven't gotten to the first stage yet, so we need to get to that first stage. So if you can, help us out and make any kind of donation that you can. There's the QR code. We'll see you all tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.